Christmas and New Year's edition. A new year, same shit. Isn't
We
that
made
awesome?
it to 2023, y'all.
We've been now doing this podcast for 3 years, basically.
That's crazy, actually.
Same amount of subscribers and everything, just screaming about movies into the void. Love it.
Yeah, only slightly smarter.
Slightly. Oh, a lot
only
older,
slightly.
Slightly smarter. But, the more things change, the more they stay the same, meaning new year. Same Caitlin Zeller back with us for the first time in a long time. I think the last time that you were on,
welcome back.
You were doing, we were rating top things that we watched in the past year. So it's been a long time. We were just hearing about your entire dating life before we came on. So things really haven't changed.
No, I'm cursed that when I am involved with this podcast, my love life cannot actually be good or happy or fruitful.
Same.
Well,
maybe that's also my
thank
problem.
God not
Yeah,
fruitful.
that's definitely me. I'm blaming this podcast.
I've had a terrible dating life since I started doing this podcast too. Maybe that's what's going on.
We'll get into the real answers now.
Yeah, I don't know. The comment I'm married, so I don't know like what. I hope that's going well.
So was I before I got on this podcast, and now look.
Like, but you
so
were married.
I think this thing has some legs. I think this thing's got some legs.
So we are doing. This is episode 132. We are doing Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, because, like most people, it's been hard, except for Dex, I guess. It's been hard to like get to the movie theater for some people. That's why they released this movie on Netflix. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery from writer-director Rian Johnson. Let's take a look at the IMDb really quickly. Famed Southern detective Benoit Blanc travels to Greece for his latest case. 7.3 on IMDb, number one popularity movie ranked right now. 81 Metascore, written and directed by Rian Johnson, just as the previous film, Knives Out. Stars Daniel Craig, just like the previous film, but unlike that, a whole new cast of characters, including Edward Norton as Elon Musk, Kate Hudson, Dave Bautista as not Joe Rogan, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, Jessica Henwick, who unfortunately has nothing to do but still delivers, Leslie Odom Jr., and
Aaron Burr.
Say that again? Aaron
Burr.
Oh, yeah. Also features some incredible cameos just out of nowhere, too, because I think people really wanted to work when this movie was being made. This actually made a little money in theaters because they released it in theaters
for like 1 week.
For a week. And in that week, on like, I don't know, not that many screens, it made $14 million.
Yeah,
they made three times as much as Babylon did. That's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, they left so much money on the table. So many people would have gone to see this movie in theaters if they would have just kept it in there.
And really, because Netflix is hemorrhaging money, like, what did they have to lose? Like, I get Nothing. They want people to come to their service, but as we've seen, everyone that's on Netflix is already on Netflix. Nobody new.
Nobody's subscribing to Netflix for this movie. We already have Netflix.
Yeah. So this probably would have made a ton of money. The first one did really good business as well, which spawned, if you don't know, and I'm going long, but if you don't know, after The Knives Out came and the pandemic hit, Rian Johnson announced that he was going to make more of these movies. The pandemic hit, Netflix came rushing to him and said, we'll pay you $450 million for the rights to this IP. And even though Rian Johnson is king, like every other filmmaker, king theater, he was like, you know what? I'll sign my life away, whatever.
Yeah, $450 million. You got a kid, whatever.
I'd do a lot for $450 million, and he did. And so even though he fought for this one to go in theaters, it was in theaters for like a week. And because Netflix doesn't know how to do good business, they took it out of theaters. And
then didn't put it on Netflix for a month.
Right. That's the big thing about this. It was like, we take it out of theaters, everybody's talking about it, and then all of a sudden, where can I watch this? Nowhere. Can't watch it anywhere until Christmas. But then a lot of people did watch it over Christmas. Has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, 93% audience score. People love this movie. A Glass Onion, the Knives Out mystery brings back Benoit Blanc for another wildly entertaining mystery, rounded out by an outstanding ensemble cast. Let's talk about kind of the relationship to the first one, what you feel about the first one, I guess, Caitlin, and then like what you thought, and give it a letter grade for Glass Onion.
So talk about the old film as well.
Yeah, did you enjoy the old film at all, or did you have any relationship going in, or is this the first Knives Out thing that you've watched? Because I know a lot of people watched this one without having watched the first one.
Oh, that's surprising. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I love old school like murder mysteries. Like I am a diehard Murder She Wrote Columbo fan. So this is like my niche. Also really like Agatha Christie, and it feels like that's kind of what this is trying to do, like Poirot style, like whatever. So I really liked it. The original is very good, obviously. Really, really good ass film. Jamie Lee Curtis icon, the girl from 13 Reasons Why, whose name escapes me. Ana de Armas, and I think the only film I've ever liked her in. I am not a big Ana de Armas fan, but she is very
No
good.
Time to Die erasure, but whatever.
I haven't seen it. I said that I have seen her in, to be fair. I said the only good Ana de Armas film.
Not a big Deep Water fan?
God, the movie
Is
sucks.
anyone a big Deepwater fan?
I don't think
stinks.
I think ironically, a lot of people now are like, you know what? This is a movie we would have gotten in the 90s. Why not?
Ana de Armas is naked. It's good.
See, I almost watched it only to watch like her and Ben Affleck like fuck, but like I decided I'm better than that.
Did you not watch the Marilyn Monroe thing? Did you not try to watch the Blonde
did.
movie?
I don't have time to explain why I think that was an attack on women.
It was.
It was.
It does not exist.
I mean, it absolutely was.
Like I think we went 20 steps back because of that film, and our entire society has regressed. So,
okay, but anyway, Knives Out 2.
Knives Out is really, really, really good. I grew up loving Janelle Monáe because she did like that one song with Fun, and I was like obsessed with her for like a hot moment. And it's cool knowing she can actually act, like that she's high key a really, really amazing actress. Her and Daniel Craig basically just like totally carry this film, and it's really cool to see. Yeah, I don't have like my normal. I feel like my brand was being contentious, like and controversial in my opinions and hating everything. But I really like this movie, so it's like an A. Like it's good. I think the first one was better, so I won't say A plus, but this is an A film.
Fun fact, contentious and like argumentative has been this podcast brand ever since you left, so it doesn't even matter.
Wow. I'm glad the spirit of me remained in memoriam. I left something behind.
R.I.P. But you did leave behind a brand. Yeah. Lord Dex Hinton, you saw this movie before everyone. What'd you think?
By before everyone, he means I went and saw it in theaters that week it came out. So like, you know,
so that's before everyone.
But yeah, I honestly don't remember anything about the first Knives Out other than that I liked it. You know, like I couldn't really tell you any detailed thoughts about it. I watched it like the one time in theaters when it came out and never saw it or really thought about it again, other than being like, that was cool. Shout out to Chris Evans and Ana de Armas. Good job, y'all. But yeah, so watching this one, I was just like excited because it's a new Knives Out movie, whatever. I'm gonna go see it. Like there was a little bit of buzz that it was like a fringe best picture contender, which kind of still is. It's still like on that short list of movies that might become best picture nominees.
The only thing Netflix got.
That's all they got. They had a horrible fucking year. Bardo is some ass. But anyway,
I don't think it's gonna make it, but I it would be fun, but I don't think it's gonna make it.
I think it might. I think
Avatar has a better chance of making it, which
Avatar is in. That's locked up. That's done. But yeah, I think it's like probably one of the like 12 or 13 films still fighting for the 10 spots. So I think it's still around there. But yeah, I really like this movie. I thought the way they did the twist was cool. Honestly, this would probably annoy me in most other films, but they like basically just start the movie over halfway through. They're like literally like at the halfway point. I was watching it again right before I came on the pod, and I checked and it's like, oh, we are literally at the halfway point of the runtime, and they're just starting the movie over now. and like they give the twist that way. I thought that was really cool and innovative. If I see it again, I'll probably hate it and be like, y'all tried to do the Knives Out thing and it didn't work. But seeing it in this movie, it's cool. Janelle Monáe is amazing and she carried this film. But I really like the rest of the cast and characters too. I thought they did like they gave them like really efficient, like, you know, lines of dialogue and like situations so that you can figure out who these people are without having to spend too much time talking to any of them. Like you can kind of get all of their, you get all the vibes really quickly. It's like, oh yeah, this is Joe Rogan. This is like the lackey science character who's a nerd, but is also like concerned. This is, you know, the corporate government sellout who's like just trying to get elected, she's evil, whatever. Like they made it all happen really quickly. And I thought that was dope. And then the twist itself, just having Daniel Craig just explain to you that, you know, not all rich people are smart. That worked for me. Felt very timely, felt very appropriate. And Daniel Craig is just electric on screen. So yeah, I'd give this one an A. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with an A. It made my top 10 of the year for 2022. I thought it was really good. And I hope they get some award nominations. I probably wouldn't give them any wins, but I hope they get some nominations. Good for them.
Best costume design. Swimsuits in this were immaculate.
Beautiful gowns, literally.
Incredible. Tej, go ahead, man.
I'm also going to give it an A. I really enjoyed it. Like Caitlin, I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but not because of anything related to the quality of the film, but just because we already done this before. And so, but I am a sucker for a murder mystery. So he can make 10 Knives Out, and I'm just going to keep watching them. I also just want to give a lot of props to Rian Johnson. I just love his movies. Like his movies are great. He made a Star Wars movie that was pretty incredible, and the incels didn't like it, and everything.
Suck it, nerds. That movie's awesome.
But
that
fuck
movie
you guys,
bangs,
that movie
dude.
is good.
Which movie did he make? Sorry, I don't follow Rian Johnson.
He made the 8th one, The Last Jedi. Is it The Last Jedi? Yes, The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Oh.
He made the 8th one, and basically he tried to make Star Wars not so rooted in incel culture and tried to let women and people of color shine, and the incels were like, wait, how dare you take the attention off of this white man and this white woman that we should be focused on. Yeah. Basically, that's the plot of the film, and that's the plot of the Backlash. And then Episode 9 was the worst thing they ever made. But I love Rian Johnson. I think he's incredibly smart. Like, this one's a bit more predictable than Knives Out, just because I know the slant that Rian Johnson writes from. There was just no way that a person of color was going to be the bad actor in this movie. So you know that the rich white guy was probably going to, you know, be someone you should probably not trust. But I love the cast. I thought they did a good job. And I just putting Janelle Monáe in that Ana de Armas role where she's obviously the protagonist of the film. And obviously, like, when you're watching the first film, Ana de Armas is like, she has this look in her eye all the time that she's so innocent and so scared. And so, like, these really rich people are going to eat me alive because I don't really know this world like they do. And I'm kind of trapped in it and I don't really know what's going on. I thought it was really amazing to put Janelle Monáe in that role. And I just thought, I just love Janelle Monáe and everything that she does, including movies. She's phenomenal. She pops off the screen. She might be the most beautiful woman that's ever existed. Like, she just looks so incredible in this film. And centering the movie kind of around her and that role, I thought really worked. I just like seeing Batista and stuff. Daniel Craig's accent, it's bad. Everybody knows it, but I don't care because he's so charming. He's so good in the role. And
that leads into it at this point.
And him just being our voice of just, well, I do declare. Like, him just doing that and explaining what's happening to us just will always work for me. I don't care how bad the accent is. He looks like he's having a blast, and so am I. I had a good time with it. I didn't see it in a movie theater. I saw it at home. I think there's something to be said about the whole Netflix thing of this. And, you know, I would have seen this in a movie theater if it had been in a movie theater for longer than like 4 days. But I don't necessarily know that these are movie theater movies. I know Rian Johnson loves to put his movies in a movie theater, but I really do think this is a perfect holiday movie to just sit down and watch at home. It looks great. It is, obviously it's like expensive, and filming in this big ass super future mansion couldn't have been something that was cheap, but I don't think this necessarily needs to be a movie theater movie. And I like the fact that I just got to pop it on at home and I had a really good time with it. I would give it an A.
I'll say it's not necessarily like you have to watch it on a big screen because like big shit is happening type movie, but it's definitely a crowd movie. So like if you are watching this with a bunch of people who have also never seen it, and you're all just kind of going, oh, ooh, like shit is happening, like, oh, twist, like that's just fun, like in a group of people. So if you got a group of people at home you can watch it with, then like you'll get the same effect. But like, yeah, it's definitely a movie you don't want to watch. Like, well, it's better if you watch it with a crowd instead of just watching it by yourself at home or watching it with one other person. But if you can get a group together to watch this movie, do that.
TG, you is
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I would give it an A. I'm with the crowd. I would give it an A.
I'm with Dex as far as like, because this is a crowd movie, because I mean the twist are these movies, but it's also the funniest movie of the year, or the second funniest movie of the year, because they don't make comedies anymore. This is just a really funny, well-written movie, and if it got me and my wife to laugh, at home on our couch, the reaction from people in the theater, like there's a line in the original Knives Out that I remember people dying in the theater. It was like, what was the name of the Nazi child masturbating in the bathroom? That was like like stuff like that is why you would go see these in theaters. And it just really was like really funny. Now some of the commentary is extremely on the nose from Rian Johnson. If you ever wondered which way Rian Johnson leaned, it won't be any confusion after this movie. And it's a very interesting going to be a very interesting time capsule for this moment in time that we're in. I don't know how well it's going to end up aging. Right now, it is aged perfectly from when they shot it to where we are now. It's actually incredible how well it aged. Now it's going to probably be like Agatha Christie movies down the line, where it's just like this is stuck in time a little bit.
Little bit.
Honestly, I feel like this will age pretty well, because they will always be rich, dumb tech billionaires like doing dumb shit like this. That's just the life we live now forever.
I also don't think we can compare it to how regressive Agatha Christie was, seeing as the original title of "And Then There Were None" literally includes a racial slur. And they had to force her to change it. So,
you couldn't fill this room with what I don't know about Agatha Christie. Like, I don't know.
She faked her own death though, which is cool. Like, very, very neat.
Well,
but yeah,
Rian Johnson, he wanted, like, he knows that he wrote this for the time that we're in now, and he did an interview basically like stating, like, you read Agatha Christie and everybody thinks it's like stuck in time, because it was. She was like writing. He says that she was writing about what she knew, and so that's kind of what he's done with these films. Which I'm not going to take points off, because I don't know how it'll age. I think it aged great right now, because just watching the destruction of Twitter in real time by a big dumb idiot is like incredible. So, like,
and that's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about Twitter when I watched this movie. I was definitely thinking about like the Elizabeth Holmes stuff instead.
Me
So it's
too.
like we'll
Also
just always have a new person to think about this with. Like they just keep popping up and they don't go away.
I do think though. Sorry.
I was thinking about the tech billionaire in Jurassic Park: World Dominion, or whatever the hell that movie is called, the greatest movie of the year.
Oh my god, that movie sucks.
Elon Bezos. No, Tim Cook Bezos.
Tim Cook Bezos.
Elon.
Yeah, the guy from fucking Don't Look Up. Just
What were you gonna say, Kate?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel as if this will be like the only way this could not turn out well historically is if somehow we find out that like Elon Musk has been doing this actually all for our own benefit, and that like his elaborate plan for allowing incels back on Twitter was for things to happen exactly as they happened with Andrew Tate, where it's like let's just let them
Weed themselves out.
Yeah, because I'm like, there is a part of me that's like, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the fact that Musk unfortunately allowed him back on Twitter. Like,
He wouldn't have doxed himself.
yeah, which is like a sad realization of like, damn, maybe we should just be letting them do it themselves. Like they
What
take
an idiot.
themselves out, I think. Like,
Oh god.
right.
What a self-owned.
maybe the emerald mining overlord knows something. I don't know, probably not. But
Yeah,
there's
probably not. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think this guy's dumb. Like that's what I've
He's never
settled
done
on.
anything for our
dumb.
benefit. I promise you, he's never done anything for anybody's benefit but his own.
History will look upon this Andrew Tate raid positively.
As a positive, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, history never remembers Andrew Tate for anything ever.
I
But
I hope
unfortunately
he's-
do not think that'll be the case.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I have so little knowledge about anything that is Andrew Tate. It's actually like incredible. I don't know how
Wow.
I've stayed like away from it, but being online as much as we are on this podcast, you know a little about everything. I don't
Yep.
know fuck all about that guy, and I feel
couldn't tell you
so
shit
much.
about him. Had
feel
never
so
heard
much
about dude
healthier.
until he started getting banned from social media sites, and I was like, oh, good, I'm just in time.
I knew about him for a long time because my YouTube feed is curated very strangely, and I don't know really what happened.
You
But
on
I
red,
think-
you on red pill? Yeah,
Caitlin's red.
I know what happened. I have some ideas what happened.
He
Caitlin.
keeps
I can
trying to
explore
send
them.
me down the alt-right pipeline. Like
Oh,
he keeps trying to do it to me, and I see it happening like actively. So I think they think I'm a white man in my like mid to late 20s, and they keep being like, "Ooh, she watches a lot of videos about dates going badly. Let's get him." And so like I get a lot of
Let's get
trigger-
him.
It's not you, King. It's her. Stay toxic.
I get so many Ben Shapiro clips. I get so many
no.
praise
Ew.
you clips. I started getting Andrew Tate media. Like this happened 2 years ago at the start of the pandemic. And like I really know a lot about that man purely because I've been targeted. And
Wait, so was YouTube like she's partially Jewish and she goes on bad dates? It's Ben Shapiro time.
it's Ben Shapiro. Well, I think they think I'm a
Time.
he because like I'll watch these shows where like someone does something annoying and I'll like watch it on YouTube and like clip it. And like sometimes I like to watch like the whole like I think I might have done this to myself because one of my guilty pleasures is to watch like those videos where it's like
The Joe Rogan
lib-
podcast.
yeah, and then like lib gets owned videos because it's always like actually the Republican got owned.
They
and it's
step
really
on their own
filmed.
nuts. On
Oh,
stage.
that's how this happened. That you
And,
want
like-
you clicked on Libs got owned, and they said, "Oh, we know exactly what you want to see."
And it's so funny because I'm like, I am the opposite of this demographic you were trying to pull me into. But I did fuck up. And so like, I don't know. Anyway.
Speaking
don't
of
wanna
Ben
know about that.
Shapiro, I think he actively hated this movie.
Oh
So-
yeah, I vaguely am aware that he hated this movie. I didn't like click on anything or read anything because I mean, fuck that guy. I don't do that. But yeah, apparently he thinks this movie sucks.
I mean, Ben
Well, that's
Shapiro,
because he's in this movie. Dave Bautista plays Ben Shapiro in this movie.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm
they
sure he
came
didn't
for
like
Daddy Elon, so
That's
he
not
can't let that
true.
slide.
it.
Ben Shapiro doesn't get laid enough to be Batista. in this
That's true.
film.
That's true.
But Ben Shapiro would definitely tell his wife to go fuck like this guy that he
Yeah.
likes, so that he
That's
can
because
get ahead in
Ben Shapiro
life.
doesn't fuck his wife, so he's like, this is fine.
Babe, the Breitbart investors aren't ponying up the cash. So if you could go and talk to the Breitbart investors, wink, wink.
And to be fair, Ben Shapiro's wife would be like, gladly.
Thank
because
God
am the
I can finally have an orgasm.
Yeah, thank you.
Royden, did you finish your review? I don't remember.
No. Oh God. No, I don't think it's as good as the first one. I do like how they changed the twist in it because from the very beginning, heavy spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, I think everybody in America has now watched this movie because it is on Netflix. We shit on Netflix, but now more people have watched this movie.
Yeah.
But big spoiler alert from here on out. The twist is that the twist the entire time the movie happens. That like it ends where you think it's going to end, but the twist is in the middle of the movie. I like how they did that instead of just like letting it play out the entire time.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig and Janelle Monáe are just awesome. Daniel Craig's fake accent that he does in like multiple movies now is fantastic. And
Yeah, he's still doing Logan Lucky to this day.
It's so bad too when Janelle Monáe actually does like a legitimately good and well done Alabama accent, like when
Yes,
she's
it's
playing
awesome.
Helen, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's right. That's actually how this is supposed to sound.
That's what
That's
people from
not.
the South really sound like. And then you have Daniel Craig, who sounds
Which-
like a European guy doing an impression of a person
I-
from the
this is
American
what
South.
people from Kentucky sound like.
To be fair, Janelle Monáe is from Kentucky, so I will say she has like.
What
an
is she
advantage.
really?
Yeah, she is. I looked it up because
Yeah,
her
she
accent
is.
was too good. Because she kept
Wait,
doing.
I thought
like,
she was from Kansas City. Maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
she's from Kentucky.
She's somewhere in that area.
But
I might be a liar. I might have compulsively lied on this podcast. Let's see.
Daniel Craig just watching a bunch of Foghorn Leghorn cartoons, and then I do declare.
I do declare.
No, I'm a liar. Tish was right. She's from Kansas. I'm just a liar. Don't believe it. Damn word I
That's
say.
the South. Kansas City's the South.
Liars. Yeah, liars are the South.
Yeah. Yes.
They do it. I'm the opposite of Dex. Dex said this would annoy him with other movies, but I love when a movie goes back to certain scenes and makes you view them from a different perspective. I'm just a sucker for that as a filmmaking trick. I just like it. And so when I realized we were going back and now we're going to go see all the scenes of them getting to the island from the perspective of knowing now that this is not actually the woman we thought she was, but actually her twin sister we didn't know she had a twin. I just thought that was cool to see, like, and it's really funny, like when Daniel Craig is seeing like the girl go to the tech investor's room because she's gonna fuck the guy, and Daniel Craig is looking in the bushes, and
Janelle Monáe's in the background,
Janelle Monáe behind the bushes again. Like,
Yeah,
the comedic timing was just very funny in that sequence, and I just like, oh, I never realized I wanted to see Daniel Craig and Janelle Monáe like do a buddy cop comedy, but now I know that I needed it in my life, and that's
to
Rian
be
Johnson.
clear, my problem with other movies isn't that they like revisit old scenes. I think that's what makes a good twist, is like when a twist recontextualizes things that you've already seen.
It's the Prestige.
Yeah, which I
It's
fucking love
basically
the Prestige.
Yeah.
I love the Prestige, but like they basically start the movie completely over in the middle. Like, you know, they just go all the way back to the beginning of the movie and are like, okay, we're doing that again. Everything you just saw, we're doing it again, but now you have more information. If I see that again in a movie, I'm gonna feel like they're copying Knives Out too, and like I'm just gonna be less moved by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it'll be fine, but I'll be like, you stole that from Knives Out too. You didn't do it as good because you don't have Janelle Monáe, so it doesn't work the same way, you know.
I thought the entire cast of characters also were pitch perfect for the ones that like Kate Hudson just being a big dumb idiot and being like, do you think sweatshops are where sweatpants are made?
That was hilarious.
I
I didn't
legitimately
know
hilarious.
that was an ethnic slur. I thought it was a generic term for someone cheap. Chewy?
Chewy.
Chewy.
Oh no. The sweatshop line is so fucking good.
Yeah, the sweatshop line. I mean, Daniel Craig's getting to say a bunch of bangers. The amount of just jokes that he makes on behalf of Hollywood, like Jared Leto's kombucha company, and like just stuff that seems so.
Which sounds like the worst thing in the world, by the way. Jared Leto, hard kombucha. No, thank you. I'm good.
Jeremy Renner, the hot
Jeremy
sauce?
Renner hot sauce.
Yeah.
Which
on brand.
Good luck. Hopefully he's doing better because that is
well soon.
Yeah,
Jeremy
shout out to him, man.
Jesus, that's wild news. Have you not seen that?
No.
He got run over by a snowplow. Yeah, it's the weirdest news that I think I've heard. Like,
he was in critical condition last night.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they had to
he
like
still might be.
They may have to. I don't know. He like ran over his legs and stuff. It's the weirdest news out of Hollywood I've ever heard.
Did not mean to laugh, but
no,
like,
it just doesn't sound
just
real.
Shock result.
Crazy,
It sounds like a Mad Lib.
My mind, like, I recently rewatched The Mighty Ducks.
Oh no!
And like,
not a
Your mind thought
Zamboni.
Zamboni. Your mind was like, "Oh, Zamboni accident." That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
and
it.
I was like, "That's how." And then I like could piece it together, but like,
So yeah, shout out Jeremy Renner's hot sauce, which becomes a plot device in this movie too. And then of course having the people on the chess game or whatever, two of which I think have now passed away. The
chess
first
game.
No, the one that he's doing over Zoom.
Among Us.
No, it
Among
was
Us.
Among Us. Sorry, I thought he was playing chess.
Yes, I was going to point out the fact that, like this podcast, I think that Zoom call was cursed, and Natasha Lyonne might be in very deep trouble.
Right.
The two that have passed.
It was Steven
Lance Baron
Sondheim
and
and
Sondheim.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so they're in their last thing that they were probably ever filmed doing.
Yes.
Protect
yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at all costs.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Kareem was also. It's only him and Natasha Lyonne, and I think something might happen.
So and then of course you have Ethan Hawke just being like, I'm filming Moon Knight and I just want to keep working, so I'll show up for a day.
That was fucking awesome.
And do nothing with my Moon Knight weird Moon Knight long hair.
I can't believe we wasted prime Ethan Hawke for however months he was on the set to make something as awful as Moon Knight. Disney, please don't make a Moon Knight season 2. We don't want that. Ethan Hawke is too talented. The one day he was on set for Knives Out was infinitely more productive for society than every day he spent on set for something as awful as Moon Knight.
My man cured COVID.
Yeah. My favorite bit though out of the entire thing and is when they have like the panel thing with Serena Williams, and it's just like a live Serena Williams. She's like, y'all want to work out or something? He's like, what?
She's reading Gravity's Rainbow.
Yeah, yes.
That book is incomprehensible. I love the idea of her just sitting there reading Pynchon.
Yeah. It's just
I would pay good money to have that in my house, to have Serena just show up on the wall and be like, hey, Teej, you want to hang out? And I said, yes, I do want to hang out with you, Serena. I've been sitting here for 23 hours in a row waiting for you to come back on the screen. Thank you for coming back.
Wait, that's true. Does she just sit there for like
that's the whole thing. She was like, I'm on call.
Yeah, I think she has like a time, like just like a time slot. So she's like, hey, like nobody's here, but like, do y'all want to take a class? It's the time slot. And she's like, all right, I'm getting paid either way.
She's like the mom from Smart House.
Also somebody who is also married to a billionaire too.
That's true.
It's very interesting. On top of all that, it's the most fun that I think that Edward Norton has ever had, or at least in the last like 30 years making a movie.
I wrote that down. This is the first time I've seen Edward Norton have fun, literally ever. Like every other movie that Edward Norton has made, he's having the most fun that you could ever have while making something like American History X. Like you can't have that much fun making a movie like that. It's probably very trying on your spirit to be in that world for however many months you filmed something. So it was very nice to see Edward Norton have fun and be a dipshit and be the butt of all the jokes, because he was awful. And when Daniel Craig starts to bring out all the words throughout the movie that he just made up,
I was like, really a word.
I thought I was going crazy because there was
yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's a real word, but let's just keep it moving. Like whatever. Like Rian Johnson probably just wrote some shit. Like that's fine.
Well, people noticed also that like all of his paintings were like his Rothko was upside down.
Yes.
Like there was like a bunch of stuff that's just randomly wrong in his
It's the most pretentious like pop art paintings of any recognizable painter that you could probably come up with. Like, and he's just
wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets the name wrong of the woman he had write his murder mystery. He gets
Gillian
the name
Flynn.
wrong. Gillian Flynn.
But what does he call her?
He calls her Jillian.
He says Jillian.
Yeah,
and
Gillian.
Also, when Daniel Craig solved the whole murder mystery, I was in stitches. Like,
dude, that was so fucking funny.
That shit was hilarious.
He's like, do I get an iPad or something? Or like...
Do I get an iPad?
Oh my god! I don't really want an iPad.
just to be clear,
in the way that makes him seem like he so wants an iPad.
Also, having Daniel Craig being the fish out of water, because in Knives Out, it's like for the entire movie, he's basically like he's the smartest man in the room. And you do know that here though too, but he doesn't fit in with these people at all. So having him be kind of this awkward fish out of water in front of all these rich people plays really, really well. I don't know why.
There's some subtle differences that I think Rian Johnson were like in Knives Out 1, we are learning things as Daniel Craig learns them. Whereas in Knives Out 2, Daniel Craig knows more than most of the people in the house, not just because he's a good detective, but because he's in on the thing with Janelle Monáe. So like putting him in a position where now he actually knows more than everybody about the facts of the situation, I thought worked really well to make this movie feel different than the other movie, because he is like in the first movie, he is our vehicle for exploration. Whereas in this movie, we know he's in on the gag, and then we get to watch him basically rip everybody to shreds And I thought that was a really good spin. If he's gonna keep making these movies, you got to find a way to like pivot and move around the Benoit Blanc character so it doesn't always feel like a rehash. And I thought he did a really good job of that. I appreciated that.
It's like he's playing him as like different detective archetypes in a weird way. Cause like in the first film, he has so much more of a like classic Poirot, like I know what's going on. I know how to fit in like with like old money rich people. But like what's really interesting here is he almost kind of plays like a Columbo-y figure in this like film of like the bumbling, like I don't quite know what's going on, but I'm going to turn around at the last minute and tell you that I've solved this thing from the beginning, that kind of energy. So I wonder if he's going to continue to kind of play off of like the different tropes that we see like in
I
like
hope so.
murder mysteries.
I hope
Like,
so.
that variance is fun.
Yeah,
Like-
and I hope we keep going to new exotic locations. Like, okay, we're going to Greece for this one. Fuck it, let's go to Fiji. Like for Knives Out 3, I'm
Turn
down.
that shit up.
Make it like an Adam Sandler movie where it's just one long vacation for all these beautiful people.
Yeah, Knives Out 3, Tokyo Drift. Let's go.
Tokyo Drift.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god. I don't think I ever gave it a grade. I was hovering between a B+ and an A because I think the first one is an A. Like I think it caught a lot of people by storm. Now it's not like the best movie of all time. I think Chris Evans is looking really hot in a cable knit sweater, and that caught a lot of people off guard. But
People weren't ready.
yeah, people weren't ready for. Speaking of, I had to put on the cozy boy outfit in honor of the first movie, so I had to put on the cardigan. But
he did look phenomenal in that sweater. I was taking
nobody looks
Great
good in those
fucking sweater.
except for him and Billy. Whoa, shit! I was gonna say Billy Joel, but from fuck.
Joel Edgerton.
No. When Harry Met Sally.
Billy Zane.
Billy Crystal.
Oh,
Billy Crystal has an outfit in When Harry Met Sally where he's wearing a cable net sweater and Levi's, and it looks fantastic.
I didn't think that anyone would ever compare Billy Crystal and Chris Evans. Like,
The same person.
I
Many people have said.
I just think Chris Evans was having a moment around that time because we had that like Knives Out thing, and then he leaked his own nudes, and everyone was impressed. So
Wait.
I really think. Do y'all
He
not
leaked
remember
his
when
own
he-
nudes?
I
Yes.
remember that he accidentally tweeted his
No,
or
I thought it was that he like put it on his Instagram story, which implied he was sending it to someone over messages on Instagram, but accidentally sent it to his story for like
Honestly,
10
I respect
minutes.
that. I respect
And-
the move.
That's not a
Full
mistake.
Draymond
That's
Green.
advertising.
No,
Full
and
Draymond Green with it.
I didn't see it, and I refused to
Draymond.
look, but I've heard it's immaculate. And like,
Wait,
he
did
was
you still
having a
lie on
great
this
time.
podcast? Are you saying you didn't see it? You didn't Google it?
I didn't, because here's the thing: I respect people and their right to privacy.
Since when? No, I'm kidding.
He posted it to his story. He didn't get hacked. He
It was
posted
an
it.
accident. But my favorite thing is people defending him online after people had that like actual like nude leak thing where they like were harassing women for having their nudes leaked and calling them sluts. But then everyone was like, poor Chris Evans. He leaked his own nude.
Meanwhile, every woman within a 1,000-mile radius was like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, also the best like celebrity nude leak story is Sia getting blackmailed for her nudes and then being like, "Here they are." Like, fuck it.
No. You can have it. I'll just give it to the world. It's fine.
Yeah, here you
It's
go.
fine.
I don't care.
Like now you've all seen my ass. Here you go. It's great,
He's
right?
like, they're damn good and you're welcome.
What a power move, because I would be suing people to get my stuff off the internet.
I
That's what
wouldn't.
they tell you to do, I think.
I just put my
Like,
shit out there. Like, no, we're not. We're done with this controversy.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not
gonna
paying
leak
you
it.
money. I'll just post the
I'm
nude.
not paying
People
you money
forget.
to. People will literally forget. Like you will feel weird about it for about 3 days, and then people will be on to the next story, and people won't even remember the fact. I literally didn't remember that Chris Evans nude had leaked. That had left my brain completely.
Yeah,
it was
not a thing that I think I knew.
it has never left my brain.
That's because you
Thought
didn't
about it
Google
for years.
That's because you
I-
didn't look at it.
It's like edging on the back of my brain, like teasing.
I don't like that. I don't like that phrase.
Edging.
Just soaking in the back of your brain.
Soaking, sitting there.
Can we
Jesus.
talk about?
It's
Can we,
it's really coming through right now.
Oh God,
God.
Caitlin, please.
This is a family podcast.
Is it?
No.
Sure. What do you want to talk about? Let's pivot.
I was trying to pivot. Can we talk about the Mona Lisa part of this?
Yeah,
It's like
go for it. It's the biggest.
Idol.
I
It's the
listened to a lot
biggest,
of
like, I don't know, smoking gun, or I don't even know if that's the right term.
I listen to a lot of
Thank
smart
you.
people. I listen to a lot of people way smarter than me who like to break down movies, talk about how Rian Johnson likes to do these things where you take something that's established or something that represents a certain thing and just like basically destroy it. And so having this house be burned down with the actual Mona Lisa in it is like another iteration of that. But I also, the whole time I was watching the movie, I kind of thought that the rich guy was a shitbag, and I kind of never bought it. Like, obviously, I knew that he had a lot of money, but I always thought that he was a bumbling, stumbling idiot. So I didn't think that he had the actual Mona Lisa in his house. Like, I thought it was fake. But apparently, people have read the movie as it's the real, actual Mona Lisa, and I didn't ever read it that way. I thought
I did.
I did by the end, but like watching the movie, I was thinking, oh, that must be fake. But at the end of the movie, it seems like they're playing it like it's real. So that was cool.
I think it's supposed to be the real Mona Lisa.
The thing that got me about it was like the whatever little case he has in it is constantly opening and closing. Like
I thought someone was going to get decapitated.
I was like, yeah, this is stressing me out. Like every single time this little thing goes off, I'm like,
I think that was the point.
Yeah, it added so much tension to the scene.
It
added so much, and it really worked. I really liked it.
I think it's supposed to be like, I think MacGuffin's the right word, where it's like something that you think is going to get used and it distracts from like the like actual thing that's really happening. Which also, I guess you would also just say a red herring. But like, I think that when you're not talking about mysteries,
MacGuffin just sounds cooler.
I think when you're talking about movies that are not mysteries, it's a MacGuffin. But I think
I don't think that, like, especially like I like these murder mysteries in book form and movie form. I really like a whodunit, and so I think there's something really smart about like the actual plot of the movie or the actual whodunit part of the movie is so simple. Like Benoit Blanc is saying, like, no, this is way dumber than you think. Like, you're thinking about this. This is way dumber than you think. It's the guy who you think was the whole time.
Yeah, what you actually thought in the very beginning is the exact same.
Your first thought when you first heard it, when your first thought was like, yes, like you're right about that. But the way we get you there, we have the twist with Janelle Monáe's character, obviously, but also we also have the twist of like, you see that the incel character, now he dies, but it's like, oh shit, somebody poisoned his drink, but it couldn't have been the rich billionaire guy because the rich billionaire guy is like, oh wait,
no, what you saw the first time actually happened because everybody saw him give him the drink. Like,
yes, it's literally in there, like it's in the first shot. You see him hand him the drink. So it's not like Rian Johnson hides that from the camera, but he knows there's so much going on that you're never going to process or remember that when you finally see that he falls over. You're not going to remember, oh shit, Edward Norton handed him that drink. And I just thought it was so smart to just like put the movie in there. Like, just put it right there. Don't hide it. Don't try to, and you're just like, oh, let's unravel it at the end. It's like, oh God, it was in front of us the whole time. I like that feeling. I think that's really smart, a smart way to make a murder mystery. And you don't have to make it the most complicated thing in the world. You can make it the dumbest thing in the world. And as long as people have a good time, people are going to like it.
I like even if you do, go ahead, Caitlin.
I just said, I like the idea that you like being gaslit. That's all.
But like also you don't have to be like gaslit and it'll still work because like even if you notice him giving him the drink or whatever the first time, once Daniel Craig is like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, you can be like, yes, it's so dumb. I saw that shit. Like,
I told Caitlin, I was like, we just saw him give him the drink. Why is it? It's because Rian Johnson was like, no, this is just the entire thing. The twist is the filmmaking in the middle of the movie. And that's really interesting to me. But I do love that line though. He goes, it's so dumb it might be brilliant. No, it's just dumb. Which would be really funny if like Rian Johnson was writing this and he's like, I don't actually have like a really good twist. And he got to the end of the movie and he was like, wait, I got to go back and like actually do this, like do something with this, because the twist is that the rich guy that we all thought was a criminal is the criminal. But like, I doubt that's what happened. I bet he wrote it out as is, but would be funny if he got to the end of the story and was like, this is bad.
I'm gonna spoil an old HBO miniseries real quick, but it reminds me of The Undoing, that Nicole Kidman HBO miniseries from a little while ago, where Nicole Kidman gets murdered, and you like are like, oh, maybe it was her husband's mistress, or maybe it was her husband's best friend, or it was the kid. The kid did it, and then you get to the end, it was like, oh no, it was just her husband. Like you thought it
I
was
was
all along.
so angry, bro.
It was her husband, like you thought it was all along. Yeah,
that was
so-
such a waste of time. Like, oh, the first person I thought we watched this for 6 hours, and it was literally just like, oh yeah, it was the guy that everybody thought. Like everybody knew it was the husband. Why do we go through this whole journey and try to cast aspersions on every other person in the damn series when it was really the most obvious answer? I was furious. I was
like
furious.
literally, people were like theorizing, oh, it's this woman who's only been on screen for like 2 seconds.
Yes.
Of the entire show, just because she seems shady. She's a white woman. I don't trust her. Like she probably did this murder.
That's how I felt about the first season of White Lotus, by the way. What y'all just said.
The difference is the first season of White Lotus is fun. Like there is obviously a murder mystery inherent in White Lotus, but it doesn't. To me, my enjoyment of the show has nothing to do with who is going to die and who's going to do it. I didn't necessarily watch season 1 of White Lotus and care about that part. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's how the person died. But I would have enjoyed it if it was just straightforward, just people on vacation living their lives. Whereas The Undoing, it was quite literally the only reason to watch this was to know who did it. And then it was like, oh, who did it? Was you already knew who did it.
About the murder trial.
Yeah.
Like,
I am going to name drop though and say that I know one of the actresses in the first season of White Lotus because they're related to my friend through marriage.
You know Sydney Sweeney?
No.
Were you at that MAGA party?
I know.
Oh shit. Caitlin,
That's
are
how
you
you got
going to
those
beat the
links.
allegations? Are you going to beat the allegations? You already told us you were red pilled, and now you know for Sydney Sweeney.
No, I know the girl that plays her friend, Brittany. But
She was great. She was
She's
great.
really good.
the entire time.
She was really
But
good.
Tej, you just love microaggressions from white people. That's all you. That's
I mean,
that's
there's a lot of that in season 1 of that show, and it's just, and also Sydney Sweeney is just so gorgeous and just did such a great job in that
I'm
show.
gonna let her slide on the MAGA family allegations. I am declaring a mistrial.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm declaring a mistrial.
I don't know because apparently in preparation for White Lotus, she started listening to the Red Scare podcast because they told like them to do that to sound like they're
Dedicated
also on
actress.
Red Scare. But the problem is apparently she genuinely still likes the Red Scare podcast.
That's none of my
Which is
business,
not-
respectfully.
That's method acting. She's just ready for her season 3 cameo. That's all she's doing. She's ready to pop up in season 3. Like, yeah, I've been listening to the Red Scare podcast. I'm ready. Put me back
Also,
in,
she's
coach.
definitely going to be in Knives Out 3. I feel like that has to happen.
That's 1,000%
I need
going
that.
to
I
happen.
need that so much. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
No,
These boobs have hypnotized way too much of America,
Oh.
and I need everyone to take like a step back.
I didn't care about that MAGA party. I
I
said
will
her,
not be taking a step
her
back.
parents were where? I didn't care. I was like, oh well. So what's she gonna be in next?
family has nothing to do with me.
Facts. I still
My
need
name is
Euphoria
Paul,
season
and that's
3. I still-
y'all.
So Knives Out 3. What do we hope that Rian Johnson continues to do this, or would you like to see him do, because he's a really talented filmmaker, and like these obviously they don't make them. They made this one for $40 million, which is surprising considering the names that they had in this and where they shot it. But like, it's basically one location and everything.
One nice ass location.
Yeah, they don't have to make these for a lot of money, and he doesn't. I don't know how many years they have to spend on it, but he does write and direct and produce all these movies. I'm wondering, like, does he pass this along to someone else, like continue to write them, but like give them to somebody else, or like is this his thing? Because I don't know. I'd be interested to see what else he can do, because he's like made some really, really other good projects.
Why should he? The Star Wars fans ruined any hope of that. He made
True.
a good Star Wars movie and they shit on him for no reason. And not only did they shit on him after his movie came out, they quite literally let a less talented director go up there and basically take pot shots and jabs at his movie in the 9th movie. Like, is right there on the screen. Like, oh, we're just gonna shit all over The Last Jedi in this movie. Like, we're just gonna say, fuck that movie.
I don't know what Disney would have to do for him to be like, okay, I'm back. Like, I'm in, you know? Like, yeah, I'll make fucking Captain America 5, like, or whatever, you know? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't know what else there is to do, honestly, except like
$450 million.
original projects that he can still do anyway. Like, I don't think he needs to. He has his blockbuster franchise. Like, how many do you need? Just roll with this one.
I'm not saying blockbuster franchise, but he seems to be a guy that is really good at original material. Like, and obviously, like Star Wars isn't original material, but he wrote a completely original story from that existing IP. So, like, he just seemed like things like Looper and
Looper's still good, by the way.
Looper.
Still
I
good.
love Looper. A lot of people like kind of look back and like with distaste about that movie, but I think it's really, really good sci-fi.
Still good.
Is that
And-
with Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Mhm.
Looper?
Yes.
Which
That was a good movie. I didn't know that was Rian Johnson.
I didn't know that either. That's the Bruce
Yep.
Willis joint, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what got him the Star Wars project. Speaking of, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's the voice of the boom.
dong.
Yeah, the dong.
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I
I'm
love
terrible
that
at voices.
Gordon-Levitt and immediately clocked it. Haha, pun. But immediately clocked it.
pun.
I love him.
Yeah, so he's in every Rian Johnson movie because he was in his first movie, which was called I forget, but it's like a noir movie in a high school, which is actually really interesting and what got him famous. But no, I just think that he's a really talented direct right. Oh, Brick was his first ever movie, by the way. But
I've seen this. I've seen that.
yeah, so he's just a really talented guy that does really good work with like original script. So being tied down in a franchise that we all love that has now, made two really good movies, solid entertainment that we just kind of don't get like anymore. I just would hate for him to be tied down. But if it means more Knives Out movies with Daniel Craig having the time of his life, like I think I'd take that coin flip, but like whatever.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
apparently he's got a new show coming out on Peacock, so you can
A
check that
streaming
out.
service that everyone has.
I do have Peacock.
Yeah,
It's on
it's
Peacock.
a case of the week mystery comedy drama. So you got that
Mystery
going.
Knives
comedy?
Out.
So it's Knives Out on Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Natasha Lyonne is in it. So
I'm
you
in.
know,
Wait, what is this called?
it's called Poker Face.
Hot.
It's
Lady Gaga.
it's the Lady Gaga song.
Will
I'm in.
debut on January 26, 2023. So
Speaking of
be ready.
songs,
Oh
the
shit,
Beatles-
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in that. Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once is in it. Oh yeah, I'm so in on this shit. Adrian Brody, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is this cat?
I'm in.
Lil Rel, we got Jamila Jamil. Come on, dude. Yeah, I'm
Come
in.
on.
Boom.
Why does it look like is the love of my life in this? I think he might be. I'm trying to
Who?
see.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, that's it.
Tim Blake Nelson.
No, the person I thought was in it, he got suggested for it, but he's not actually in it. But anyway, Stephanie Sue's in it, which is good. I am like a big fan of her since everything.
Let's get her that Oscar nomination. I think the steam's running out for the supporting actress nom, but she needs it.
It's
What-
either going to be her or Jamie Lee Curtis, I feel like, but probably not both, which makes me sad.
It should be her instead of Jamie Lee Curtis. She has way more to do than Jamie Lee Curtis in that.
I agree.
Agreed.
Okay, Tej, what were you going to say about Glass Onion?
Speaking of songs, because Poker Face is name of a Lady Gaga song, Glass Onion is also the name of a Beatles song. And this is one of two, maybe three good Beatles songs because the big Beatles suck. So I love
Thank
the
you.
fact that at the end of this
Thank you.
movie, you get to go into Glass Onion. And I was like, oh, this is an actual good Beatles song. Props to Rian Johnson for that. And also Knives Out is also a song title. So all these things have song titles. And I like
Honestly, I'm a sucker for movies named after random songs, like Baby
Same.
Driver.
that. Same.
Baby Driver.
Fucking love Baby Driver. I'm sorry.
Poor Baby
Forgive me.
Driver.
I'm
I
problematic.
hate Baby
Oh,
Driver,
it's a
but
good
but-
movie.
the worst movie ever. But
You're
It's
so
such a
wrong.
shame.
that opening scene will put hair on your chest. This is the perfect opening scene. It's amazing. It's perfection.
I
Baby
hate that
Driver's just
movie
the
is
first film.
Problematic Island now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Lily James is fine.
Yeah, that's true.
For
John-
now.
John
see what
Bernthal
There's still time.
John Bernthal is there.
Lily James is like a neo-Nazi.
This is a joke, by the way. We're joking.
Please, this is not please no. Don't take us to court.
Yeah, so I don't really have much else to add about this movie. Do we have any? I just wanted to add this in here. Do we have a movie, like a favorite twist in a movie? If you just wanted to give those out.
have a
Honestly,
twist.
this is kind of a lame answer, but I love the Prestige twist. Like, it
Boo,
gets me every
no.
time. That movie fucking bangs.
My favorite twist in the movie is where they advertised that they were making a film based on a book IP that was going to be a huge sci-fi hit. It was called Dune. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but actually it wasn't a film. Actually, it was just a long extended trailer cut for the film, for the actual good film, which is going to be the
Dune
second
Part
film.
2. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a
when they
good plot
tell
twist
you
to
that
me.
Zendaya's gonna be in it, and then she's just not.
What a twist.
When you walk into the movie theater and that's the first time you realize that there's going to be a part 2 of this film, and you thought there was only going to be one film, that was a good plot twist.
I have never been so mad, bro. I was like, oh, okay, it's a 3-hour movie, but like apparently this book is like really dense. Okay, so making it into a 3-hour cut, I understand that. And then I get to the movie theater after hearing about this fucking movie for months. No one had ever mentioned it was a part 1. Fucking Dune Part 1 pops up on the screen. I'm like, bitch, how dare you?
What a shot called by Denis Villeneuve, because he didn't know that they were going to even let him make the second one of those movies. That would have looked dumb as hell.
We committed 3 hours to this universe, and you walk in, he's like, actually, it's going to be at least 9 hours, by the way, but enjoy yourself, but it's going to be 9 hours, bros. Like, we didn't have, that was just ridiculous. Not enough. Only this podcast is speaking for America about our anger about that, because I didn't hear anybody else that was angry about that, but I felt disrespected
I'm so mad.
in the movie
Still.
theater. I was upset.
I do think it's especially annoying when like Dune has already been made into a movie and they somehow managed to make it only 2 hours.
And they made it.
Apparently it sucks.
Well, the first Dune is awful.
It's awful, but you can get all the plot points. Like you don't actually, you could just done it better, but hit all those same plot points.
Hey, here's a spoiler. The new Dune, it also stinks. It's not good.
It's
No,
an
okay, look,
extended
though.
music video.
It doesn't stink, but it's
Look,
extremely
Florence Pugh is
boring.
incapable of being in a bad movie, so Dune Part 2 is going to bang. Like,
Oscar
Brother, she was in
Isaac
Don't Worry, Darling. A movie
that movie
we
is not
talked
bad.
about
The movie is
year.
fine.
Don't worry,
No,
darling.
it's not.
That movie
It's
is
not
fine.
Movie
It's
sucks.
fine.
Movie stinks.
That movie is only salvageable only because Florence Pugh happens to be one of the most talented actors we've ever seen, and because it looks like there were some of those shots were incredibly breathtaking in terms of the cinematography. So I will agree with you that it's not like awful, but it's pretty bad. I mean, it's a pretty bad movie.
It's not
Backtrack
good.
we're not talking
but-
about with Don't Worry, Darling. But I do think it's interesting with watching Harry Styles turn ugly in that film that I was like, wow, he's not actually ugly, even when they add like all this shit to
Right.
make him look ugly. He just looks like all my ex-boyfriends. And I don't
Yeah,
really
he
know what
just
that
looked
means
dirty.
about the fact
He
that
just
they
needed a
ugly find
shower.
He looks like an incel.
like Harry Styles, and then it was like, oh, this looks like a man I've dated.
If incels looked like Harry Styles, it like that, there wouldn't be incels. He's sitting there. He's like, my wife won't fuck me, man. But he still looks like Harry Styles that just hadn't
Yeah.
taken a bath.
He basically just looks like, what if Harry Styles was very poor, and that's it. Like,
Yeah, what if he was never discovered on X Factor? That's what he
He
would
needs
look like.
LASIK and had a little bit of acne
Yeah.
and stubble.
Speaking of twist, the twist in that movie
our
stinks.
life.
Our life, Alice. Our life.
That might be the worst twist I've ever seen in a movie. No hyperbole. That
I
was
think
one of
it's
the
not-
worst twists I've ever seen.
I think that's not fair. I thought it was really great when I saw it in Stepford Wives first.
That's great. Of course, some of the best twists. The Prestige movie, the movie that they talk about in Glass Onion, the Gillian Flynn. I was going to say Gone Baby Gone, but that's not it. It is
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Gone Baby Gone, also a really good twist.
What's
if
the
you-
twist in Gone Girl?
What?
That she's not actually dead.
Yes. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I thought we already knew that. I didn't.
Well, yes,
okay.
No.
we know it because we all watched the movie.
You
No,
you
I
think
thought
that-
like I
No,
thought watching the movie we were supposed to already know that. I
The
didn't.
twist
realize
is that she comes back.
the
that's
twist.
okay.
I think the twist got leaked basically just because the like book was really popular, so everyone at that point knew. But if you read the book, it's not.
I
Obvious.
didn't know. I didn't know.
Right.
Whatever reason I didn't. When I walked in the movie theater, I didn't know what the twist was. was
Also, I
shocked.
came to that movie way late, so like everyone else
Oh.
probably didn't know that, and I just kind of like picked up on it from like just being too online or whatever. But yeah, okay, I had forgotten that we did not know that. Okay,
Fincher can
Book,
make
I think
anything. I'm there day one. If it's Fincher, I'm in there day one. That guy is real cinema.
The book, I think she's riffing off of an actual murder case. I think it was like the Scott Peterson murders. So like part of it was that she was playing off of that because it exactly mirrors it. So most people would have gone in with the expectation that he killed his wife, and that's like
The Scott Peterson case was like the first major news story that I remember as a child. Like
It's
because my mom
bad.
watched it. My mom watched that on the news like every night when that happened. I remember it. But
Once I found out a long time ago that I accidentally, and I don't believe Scott Peterson is innocent, but for some reason I followed on Facebook the Scott Peterson like exoneration page. And so
How do you
therefore,
keep
like,
clicking these things?
for
Kate?
some
How do you-
reason,
Man, how do you like the algorithm is just sending you this stuff? You're like, I don't know how I got there, but it just popped up on my screen.
now why would she do that? What's going on with Caitlin? Why would she do that?
listen, I think I joined it when I was like 12 and first got on Facebook. Is that I think it was one of the first things I did is I was like, I want to follow why they think he should be exonerated.
Where were you January 6th?
You have to stop this thing where you want to hear about you enter these online spaces because you want to disagree with the people and what they're saying, but the algorithm just reads it as support and they're like,
Yes!
oh.
That happens to me all the time. Is I want to get into internet fights, but they think I'm part of the group, but they don't realize that I just like fighting people.
Speaking
And
of liking to fight people
I
and
just like
bad
fighting
movie
people.
twist, Fight Club. The twist is awful. I'm sorry. I hate it. That
I
shit
love
stinks.
the book. Fight Club, the book is a good book.
That's
And
what
you
it's
realize you get the subtext of the book.
Yes.
Actually,
I
you
will
actually
never read that
understand.
book, unfortunately.
Fight
But
Club is also good, just better in the book form anyway, because like the toxic masculinity thing actually like comes through.
You want to talk about the worst twists in movies ever?
Yes.
A film, a 2010 Robert Pattinson film called Remember
oh
Me.
god,
What's it called?
Remember
me.
I've
Dex,
never
do
seen
you
this.
do you know what happens at the
I
end?
know
of the movie?
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
None
I've
of
never
us
actually seen the
remember.
movie, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a love story between like basically like two college kids, I believe, and it's just a standard will they won't they story, kind of like melodrama. And then all of a sudden, the ending of the movie, Robert Pattinson is standing. It zooms out. He's at the top of the Twin Towers on September 11th, 2001.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's the twist. That it's
That's
9/11.
9/11. That was the twist.
I really almost made a joke I was gonna regret. I was gonna be like, I hope he made it out.
No, that's the
No,
whole
he did
remember me.
not.
He did not. So yeah, if you haven't have it, that is so mean spirited.
Just
Why would you
awful,
do
dude.
Why
I
would you?
don't like that, but
Also, a twist that fucked me up as a kid because I watched it late at night on like HBO, like 2 a.m. A film called The Mist. with
Yeah,
Stephen King. The twist at
Oh.
the end of that movie is shattering, dude. That it's so
so
mean.
fucked up. Yeah,
Oh,
and I don't
Did
think
you-
that's in the original book, by the way.
it's not. It's not. They put it in there.
yeah, because I've read the book. I'm trying to think what the twist is. I obviously have not seen the movie.
The movie ends basically. They escape these like creatures that are created in a lab through this mist, and they come and they attack all these people, and they try to like evacuate and escape, and
They run out of gas.
they run out of gas, and he thinks that these creatures are coming for him. He has 3 bullets or 5 bullets in a 6-shooter gun in a revolver, and he kills everyone in the car, including his only son, and he can't kill himself. And the twist is that it's actually not the animal, the creatures coming for him. It's a military saving the day, and so he just killed everybody for no reason.
That sounds awful.
I
Spoiler
don't
alert for the twist.
I
for the
don't
myth.
think that's how the short story ends. I think
No,
it's a short
I don't
story.
think so either.
Yeah, that shit is fucked up.
Yeah. Anyway, do we like the twist? I mean, Memento is a great twist, obviously, but
Love the movie.
Shutter Island. How do we feel about Shutter Island? I know now we're at the point in the podcast where I'm just naming movies, but like these are some of the ones that have come to my head.
I'm
The
gonna be honest,
book
never
is-
seen it in full.
The book is amazing. Dennis Lehane is a genuinely like really, really, really good novelist, and the twist works like 50,000 times better in the book. because like the because it plays around with like anagrams and stuff like that, and it works better on a page because you can see the names. Like
Welcome to the One Take Pod, a podcast about books.
Big readers.
movies that are based off of books. But my point was, I don't think it works as well as a movie. I don't think the twist like play because it relies so much on like a name. Like that's like one of the big things is like one of the names is an anagram. So like without, I don't know. Maybe
my take is that movie isn't as good as everybody remembers.
it's not.
People like to call that. They're like Goodfellas and Shutter Island, and you're just like, no, that's not how this.
No.
I do think like different movie, but The Sixth Sense is genuinely the first time you see it a really good twist. But like
The second time you see it, it's a piece of shit.
God damn.
I like that movie.
I hate M. Night Shyamalan. He is the worst.
It's his only
Okay,
good
but-
movie. Why are you trying to take
Look,
that from him?
Shyamalan's
Knock at
been
the
chasing that
Cabin,
high
I am
since
in there.
he's been chasing that high since that movie came out.
You want to talk
I've
about the
been-
worst
Good
twist ever?
movie.
The Village has the worst twist of all time. It has the worst
I've
twist
been
of all time.
boycotting M. Night Shyamalan for years because I know that like there's no way he's going to make a good movie again. I knew fucking Split was a lie.
Old
And
Beach,
that-
the beach that makes you old.
I knew
Yeah.
Split was a lie.
I knew Split was a lie and that he couldn't do it again. And so I have been avoiding watching all of his movies for years and years. But Knock at the Cabin, I am in there night one. I am sorry.
Speaking of
Batista looks like he
Batista-
is in his bag.
Wait, is The Village the one where it's like it turns out they were the
It's modern day the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's like right on the edge of a freeway in like a random Jersey town, and it's like modern day when you thought you were like in antiquity. It's awful. It's
and
the
they
worst.
like they're the people that they were trying to avoid, right? Isn't that
Yes.
the thing? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
awful film. And I guessed the twist of that movie within like 15 minutes when I was in the movie theater. I was in middle school, and I said, "Get me the fuck out of this movie." I was on a date, and I never called this woman back. I said, "Why did you pick this?" woman?"
Wait, backtrack. Did you say that you were in middle school?
I was in. Well, I believe this movie came out when I was in middle school. Maybe I was in high
Wait,
school.
oh,
No, I must,
wait,
no, I must have been in high
hang on.
school. I'm sorry, I was in high school. You're
Sorry,
right.
I was like, if you were in middle school,
I'm not
you
that
went
old.
on a date with
Oh.
someone and went, "Get me the fuck out of here," and
yeah.
then you
No,
called them back.
I was in high
like, "What the
school.
fuck?"
This movie came out in 2004, which was my freshman, which was the year I graduated from high school. So it was in high school.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
at least you weren't
Sorry,
an
I didn't mean to say middle
11-year-old being cruel to another 11-year-old.
Speaking
After
of
making
twist,
her watch The Village.
yeah.
Which
Speaking
is
of
cool enough.
twist, I've told this story before, but I did take a girlfriend to see Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the David Fincher version.
Hey, that movie's
Oh.
objectively awesome.
It's awesome. Hard to
Not a
watch.
date night.
Very hard to watch on a date. Very
Hard to watch. Multiple
watch as a
rapes in
woman.
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. But still like a good movie when you go back and watch it now.
That movie
Speaking-
fucking rules.
Honestly, actually, though, great date fare in that as a woman, if I watched that, I would be like, that's right. The person I'm on a date with could hurt me. And I should be very vigilant.
Yeah, I was just in high
bad.
school. I was just trying to be edgy and see like a R-rated David Fincher movie. Not the one. Not the one.
Not quite the one for a date.
Nope.
Can I
Go
give
ahead.
y'all some best picture odds? I know this is not our Oscar podcast, but I have to give y'all some best picture odds.
All right,
because I'm
let's-
getting very
Let's
frustrated.
do it.
about
We
the
got
process.
we're gonna do a best picture of 2022 wrap up
Can't wait.
next episode, I believe.
After
Probably
Babylon, yeah.
After Babylon,
I saw
real cinema. Babylon is real cinema. Anyway,
That shit is dope.
the current odds from this website I'm looking at right now have the Fableman still as the favorite at -125.
I don't believe
Nah.
that.
Everything, everywhere, all at once is the second favorite here at +145, which is insane because we
So
said
wait, how do gambling odds work? Like if it's plus
Oh.
145, that means you bet 100 and get 145, right?
yes.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
do that.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which we were talking about the Oscar campaign the moment we did a podcast on it when it came out. It has persisted. They are doing the campaign. The stars of this film have been everywhere. They are
They
running a real
really
For
campaign.
months. They've been running
For
a
months,
marathon
bro.
on this shit.
So it's right now it's in the second spot in terms of the favorites. And then a movie that I won't talk about on this podcast because it's actually not good, which is Banshees of Inisherin, is the third frontrunner, but it has no chance of winning. It's not going to win.
That's not gonna win. No way.
It's
The
too
fourth,
mean-spirited. The Oscars don't do mean-spirited movies anymore.
Wait, you saw it, right?
No, I'm gonna watch it tonight or
okay.
tomorrow.
Ignore
that.
it.
We'll talk about that.
Fourth running favorite film right now, according to FanDuel and according to the Oscar websites, is Avatar: The Way of Water. It is the fourth most likely movie today to win Best Picture.
It might win.
What is happening?
It might win.
Please, God, no.
How?
Please,
Because
God.
James Cameron has more clout than you would ever even imagine.
Yeah, is it not
honestly,
enough that James Cameron is rich as God and is going to make $9 bajillion from the movie? That's not enough. We got to give him the fucking Best Picture.
Avatar Hive is fucking insane, bro. Like,
it's annoying.
The dick eating is crazy. I never say that, but oh my God, dude, the way that like Avatar Hive talks about this movie, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
As people that like the movie, Dex and I, we're been like eye rolling the entire time. Like,
I want y'all to see the evil y'all have unleashed upon the world when y'all made a episode of this podcast about Avatar 2. Look at what you guys have done. It is above Tar. It is above The Woman King. It is above. Well, I don't know if She Said is good because I haven't seen it yet, but it is above She Said.
It should be above She Said, but
it is above
Top Gun.
It is above fucking Top Gun.
Which is a travesty, actually.
Top Gun's not even on this fucking list, and Top Gun literally saved movies. True story.
Top Gun saved movie theaters. Like,
and the military-industrial complex.
Yes.
Which is really the best outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I signed up for the
tried.
Navy right there. I had like 2 years left to be able to go do it. And I was like,
I had some eligibility left. I said,
maybe need to go do it.
Avatar 2, not a bad movie, but holy shit. What? There are people, not going to name names, people who potentially write for this website that every single day will send us an update about the Avatar 2 box office. And I'm just like, bro, why are we doing this? Like, why do you like this movie so much? Why are you rooting for the financial success of Avatar 2? Root for other things. God damn it.
Look what y'all have done.
Actually sucks.
As Caitlin would say, read a book.
Read a book.
No, Caitlin, if you don't know, Teej actively refused to be on our podcast about Avatar 2.
I fucking knew this was going to happen. I didn't want to contribute to the Avatar industrial complex, and now we are here. And now the train is off the goddamn tracks, and it's going to ruin the Oscars. I will never forgive James Cameron for ruining the Oscars if this happens.
Yeah, if Avatar 2 wins Best Picture, I might have to take a year off, y'all. I might have to sit out.
The Avatar industrial complex. That's what Eisenhower warned us about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I took Green Book on the chin, but I'm not standing in the ring
draw the line
with Avatar 2. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna draw the line
on the chin, bro. I came right back next year. Let's do it again. I'm not coming back next year if Avatar wins Best Picture.
Green Book, which was objectively about a white man saving a black man.
Very bad. Extremely bad cinema.
It was almost too bad for you. But then Avatar, which is just a bunch of blue people hanging out. That's
again, no, it's a white man saving a bunch of blue people. All right.
You're right. Actually,
let's be clear.
We talked about the colorism in that movie.
Because that is a white man. All right. He is not one of them.
I'm gonna be honest.
He is not one of them.
I have never seen Avatar in my life. I will never see the second Avatar. I have no.
You are my hero. You are a hero, and you should be commended.
Thank you. I'm gonna get an award. But my thing is, like, when someone tells me that something's a good movie only because of the visuals, it immediately tells me I don't want to see it, because I'm like, oh, so there's no story that matters, and
the story is Fern Gully.
Yeah. I love Fern Gully when it was like made in the 90s.
Fern Gully.
I love
Fern Gully. Great cinema, by the way. Great cinema.
But yeah, I'll have to draw the line at Avatar 2 winning Best Picture in a year where like fucking Tar and Everything Everywhere All at Once and Top Gun Maverick all exist. I have to sit out. I'm sorry.
Dex, I know your list of your top movies of the year is up. What did you have at number 1?
Tar.
Can you? I know what you had at number one, but I wanted you to tell the people.
Yeah, I had Tar at number one. That is one of my favorite movies that I've seen in the last several years. I fucking love that movie. Have it on Blu-ray now, sitting in my living room. Probably gonna watch it again tomorrow. I saw it twice in theaters. That shit bangs. Kate Blanchett is her. Give her awards.
Kate
Please
Blanchett,
and thank you.
give me your outfits, please.
I want to dress exactly like she dressed in that movie, dude. She was getting bits off.
She was getting fits off. I had Tar
Crazy.
number one as well. I just rewatched Tar last week. I went to the theaters and saw it again. Still loved it. But I think The Fabelmans is my movie of the year, guys. I think The Fabelmans is my movie.
Well,
The
let's-
Fabelmans is real cinema.
let's
It
save
made
it
me
for
feel
bonus.
things.
Let's save it for bonus content from a week from now when we compile our top 5 again.
Yeah, go see
I don't
Babylon,
know.
coward.
I don't know
Go
where
see
to I
Babylon
could do
Cowards.
the entire Oscars episode right now, and then read.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
And then redo.
and then do it again.
Right.
I really think that would be very symbolic of the state of movies right now.
Yeah, if we just continuously put out the same podcast
Yeah, exactly.
episode. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. What did we think about it?
Guys, have y'all
meta
seen Wonder
commentary.
Woman 1984?
Oh, Jesus. No, so that is it'll be interesting to see because the Oscars aren't for another fucking 2-3 months. They're in like end of March.
Sounds right.
Something like that.
Of course, like the Golden Globes are back. I don't know if we even care about that, but they're actually
No.
televising that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if that has any effect on what people think about the Oscars. It historically hadn't really, but like it does have some weight regardless of whatever we want to think about it. But
yeah, it's one of those things where like getting nominated kind of puts you back on the radar if you weren't
Yep.
really on the radar before. Like I think Keke Palmer has an outside shot at a nomination now. She got a Golden Globe nom, stuff like that. But the winners don't really matter that much, I don't think.
right. So
I'll be honest,
yeah.
I didn't know the Golden Globes were off. So
no
I
one
think
did.
that's
We
No one
went on
did.
this podcast where I was like, Dex, what about the Golden Globes? He's like, oh yeah, they were like sexually harassing people and stuff like that, and then doubled it down on it, and then they just stopped being on the air. And I was like, didn't even hear about that. Went out with like they farted that into the wind. That just like went nowhere.
I hope
Yeah.
that was their defense attorneys were basically like, don't apologize. Double down.
Kind of.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
it was like there was some sexual assault happening, there was some racism happening,
Oh.
and yeah, and then they were just like CBS or whoever was like, you know what? We're not going to put that on TV this year, actually.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Canceling America's award show. Wow.
Sure.
And then it's all hosted by Ricky Gervais, who is cool and good.
Ricky Gervais, who hosts 19,000 award shows, and every single time is like, this is dumb. Why do we keep doing this? No one cares. Like, stop hosting this shit then. Go away.
I'm also deeply uncomfortable with him for some reason. I watched his stand-up special and he kept making weird comments that almost seemed like he was going down a Dave Chappelle road on like trans people. But then he would just like nearly.
Caitlin,
miss
you are
it.
never beating the allegations. I'm sorry. Like,
Why?
some of the
Ben
stuff that you're clicking
Shapiro,
on. We really got to talk about your clicking
Ricky
habits.
Gervais.
We really have to
Guys,
talk
I'm
about your clicking
so
habits.
bored.
Scott
And then,
Peterson is Scott Peterson is innocent. Like, no, you're out of here. You're done.
What is
People
happening
have to
over
know
there
I
with your
don't believe
clicking
this.
habits?
My brand is that men are trash. I think people know that I don't believe these things.
Your
Right.
YouTube algorithm,
Your algorithm
suggests
doesn't
otherwise.
know it at all. Your algorithm does not know this.
You're
I'm
like David
sorry.
T. Are you a men's rights activist secretly?
Am I an MRA? Yeah, I love. Yeah, that's yeah. No,
How many
I'm
guns
not
do you
listening.
own?
Yeah, I am.
Can
You
I-
caught me. I
Can I
am
give-
actually what they.
You're the one behind the 2012 Twitter account Minonist, which is
Yes, that's me.
You run
Um,
libs of TikTok.
I actually do. My name is Kaya Rychik, and I run Libs of TikTok. You caught me. I was there Jan 6 too, and I was on Tucker Carlson's show.
Oh my God. Can I
Yeah,
give you
watch
two
me.
films that have the exact same Oscar odds according to FanDuel?
This is going to hurt me. I know it is.
The Northman has the same Oscar odds for Best Picture as Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
no.
Holy shit! Number 4 and number 50 on my top 75 list.
You.
Holy shit. Who's throwing away money betting Don't Worry Darling for Best Picture?
Dex, can I read some other?
I'm not gonna lie. I would have placed a futures bet on it like 15
like before it
months
came
ago.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where is Blonde? What is Blonde ranked? I hate that film.
Last, right?
Blonde has it's way down there. It's minus it's plus 4,100, but it has better odds than The Northman, which is
Oh my
Holy
crazy.
shit.
I'm gonna name some movies that I
Well,
want to
Ana
know.
de Armas got nominated for a Golden Globe.
For her performance in
Blonde.
Maryland.
Yep.
That was one of the
Yeah.
worst movies. That movie was anyway. I'm gonna name some movies. You just tell me if you've heard of these movies before. The Killer,
Nope.
No.
Disappointment Boulevard,
Sounds
Yeah.
like me, but no.
The Actor,
Nope.
No.
Showing Up,
Nope.
Also,
Holy
sounds
shit.
not like me, but no.
Asteroid City,
I have heard the name, but no,
Is
I don't
that-
know.
No.
No.
13 Lives.
13
Yes,
Reasons
I
Why.
did. No, I
Is
did.
that the
I
that's
watched
the
13
underwater
Lives.
like that's
Yeah.
like
Oh, you
Thai
did?
cave rescue
Yeah.
thing.
It's a Thai cave rescue movie. Not bad, but
Oh.
So yeah, that one I've heard of. I didn't watch it, but
The Sun.
yes, I heard
movie
about that.
is supposed to actually come out, but I don't know where.
That's the sequel to The Father.
I know. Where is it?
Is there a
I feel
whole
like they
series?
sent me a screener for it or like an invite for a screening or something. So it is happening.
The best titled movie this year. I don't think it's out yet. It's called Women Talking. This is the greatest title of a movie I've ever heard.
That
I don't
one's
wanna
gonna
know-
be-
I don't want to know what
Intrigued.
it's about.
That one's gonna. It's gonna be hard to watch.
I don't even care what
Yeah.
it's about. The title is literally perfect. It's like, what's this movie about? No, it's about women talking.
I
Also,
really
I'm
wanna
surprised
appreciate-
you don't know what it's about because it's also like based on a book that's like right up your alley. I would think.
It's about
I-
sexual assault at a Mennonite
Oh.
community. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to
See,
watch.
I thought, Rian, that you knew nothing about this film, and
Women
just
talking.
said-
Ew.
That's gonna be hard to watch. And I was like, what?
Just the sound of their voices just grating.
Women
and-
talking.
Just
I'm
women
out. I'm out
talking.
on that film.
Hell
I'm out.
nah.
No way. That I was
Jesse
like,
Buckley
"You
talking?
accused me-
No.
He just accused me of being part of the MRA, and then he literally said, "I don't want to hear women talk."
Yeah, you gotta like really clarify your sentences when you're talking about women talking. You're just
What the
like,
What the hell is Empire of Light? What is that?
it's the
Oh, that's that Olivia Coleman. Like,
Olivia
it's a movie
Colman,
about
Sam
movies.
Mendes movie. Came
Olivia
out
Colman, also in Puss in Boots. I saw
Hell
Puss in Boots
yeah.
this
Dude,
weekend.
Puss in Boots slaps. That shit is so good.
I'm sorry, guys. That shit is real cinema. That shit was great.
That shit is so
Oscar
fucking
odds?
good.
What
It
are
was
its
great.
odds?
It was
Should be
fucking
best
good.
animated
It
feature.
might
Hands
win
down.
best animated feature. Yeah,
It better.
That
I don't
shit
know
is
what
fire.
else would.
just means
Sea
best-
Beast or
Fucking Lightyear. Like, nah.
Nah,
get
it
that
won't be
outta here.
Lightyear. It'd be Turning Red. But
Oh yeah, Turning Red slaps too. But
It did.
Puss in
anyway,
Boots
we're
is-
going long. We'll do an actual full Oscars episode here in a little bit.
Nominations
Oscars
drop on the
odds
24th. So.
Yeah, so we'll
24th.
do that. We'll do that here in a
Coming!
little bit.
It's coming!
Are
Are we doing a live show for the nominations this year? Finally, are we finally?
I am
getting
down.
into it.
Don't they
gotta
happen in the
settle to it.
morning?
They happen early in the morning. Yeah.
We can do that. I'll be up anyway.
Yeah,
Caitlin,
it's me who has to worry about it. It's like it'll be like 6 a.m. over here.
They do it your time.
Yeah, it happens West Coast time.
They do it for all the liberal elites out on the West Coast. What are you talking
I'm gonna
about?
be up.
Liberal.
I'm gonna be up and camera ready to live stream, ready to shit on the nominations. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait.
Caitlin, where can they find if you would like to give out anything that you're working on and or your social handles?
We technically have a Twitch stream at twitch.tv/the koala cat. We meaning me and my friend of the show, Kat. I'm announcing that she's a friend of the show without permission.
Always has been.
Yeah, she has.
Without permission.
But otherwise, don't find me. I am currently trying to get jobs, and therefore, there's nothing interesting happening.
It's
on
great
Twitter.
that you did this podcast.
Yeah. Different times in which I would just care very little about my reputation professionally in the past. Now I have to try. But I'm trying to do public interest work, so I only have to try a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't embarrass people.
Don't worry, nobody listens to the show.
Oh.
It's fine. They won't find this. No one will find this.
Here, my students when I taught improv used to listen to the show regularly, and
Oh,
then they
Christ.
got to the Jurassic Park episode where I talked about my sex life, and they all stopped listening because they were like, "We don't want to know."
Oh,
They're like, gross.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that has been Caitlin Zeller. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it, as always.
Wow.
We love you,
Thanks
Caitlin.
for having me.
What you didn't know is that I actually recorded the entire beginning of this podcast that we were actually talking about your sex life. So that's going to be a deep cut. You can find that one on the Patreon. I'm kidding.
No.
I didn't do that.
Please
I didn't do that. But maybe.
Oh my
Dex-
God, we're circling back to the extortion.
Mhm.
Like, please don't extort me.
Dex, where can we find your top 75 list and all of the things that you were working on?
ApolloHAU.com. Check it out.
All right.
I haven't written shit for Screen Rant in a little while, so there's nothing over there to go look at. But go to ApolloHAU.com. There'll be a bunch of stuff over there.
And then you can find at Less Humble Teej at the Slander U. A lot of college football going on right now.
Oh man, we're playoffs are deep in form. Bowl games are ending. Check us out,
Bro, for the love of God, TCU better not win a fucking national championship.
I will.
If there is a God, it will not happen.
How did they
Holy
fuck
shit.
Michigan? Like, that was so stupid.
I
Speaking
hate
of a Michigander right now, that must have been terrible for y'all up there.
We haven't lost anything like all season. We like demolished OSU, and then like fucking
all
the
for nothing.
fucking frogs. The frogs.
Fucking
They
frogs.
can't keep getting away with this.
A
They are
team that
not
might
good.
gain is not good.
They are not fucking good. How do they keep getting away with this?
Michigan.
Georgia, we are literally begging, Georgia. We are literally begging.
Please.
Loki, I think Georgia is gonna like annihilate them. I don't even think it'll be close.
I thought Georgia was going
Hopefully.
to annihilate Ohio State, and it didn't happen quite that way. So now I'm
I-
nervous.
Can you imagine if TCU wins the national championship and then Avatar wins Best Picture? Like,
Worst
holy
timeline.
fuck.
This is
darkest
the worst possible
timeline.
timeline. This is the darkest timeline.
Yeah. Anyway, Slander You. That's a fun podcast that y'all do. We don't have to talk about how y'all talked about the Baylor Bears losing to our troops, but we
Didn't
don't have to
happen.
talk about it.
If we all say it didn't happen,
Actually,
then
didn't happen.
It was so cold that it erased all the records. So we don't have to talk about it. Anyway, you can find at Less Humble Teej, Twitterless and Instagramless Caitlin. Don't have to find her at
Don't
Lord
find her.
Mexican and at Royden Ogletree. You can find us doing that stuff, just tweeting into the void. But also you can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram, and TikTok, that website that exists as well too. So go find us there at the number One Take Pod. Like, rate, and subscribe. Thank you so much for anybody that actually has given us like some ratings over the past few weeks. We really appreciate that, even though we haven't been pumping out that much content. But things will be continuing as always. We're about to get into Oscar season, and then January, which is awful movie season, which will be a fun time to talk about movies.
Go see Babylon, cowards. Go see it.
Yeah, that would be me. Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. 2023 is our year again. Let's go.
All right.